When you're working with first year students, I think you're a bit lucky there in that they're very eager and they want to contribute back for you. So I do think that perhaps that contributed a little bit to my good CCAT results in semester one. However, I do send a lot of emails out to my students. I do weekly announcements, so I like to engage my students. Towards the end of semester when CCAT time comes, I give them lots of reminders of the CCATs. And then when I'm getting the percentages through, I'll look up, only 10% of students have completed my CCATs. So I will send emails to my students and say, hey, only 10% of you have completed my CCATs. I really need a greater percentage. Let's aim for 15%. And I will push them to try and break that 15% barrier, and then I'll go higher again. So I do push my students to do that. I always look at my CCATs thoroughly, and when I'm going to teach that course the following year, I look at what the students have given me as feedback and I try and improve those areas. So I will put on the ECP for the following year that the course has been improved because of the previous year's CCAT results. So I do tell the students when they're filling out the CCATs that their feedback will be very valuable to me, and I will be changing the course based on their feedback if their feedback warrants any changes to the course. And for example, if the students really had some good feedback for me about an assessment item or about the way I taught IBLs or the way other tutors taught IBLs or about the structure of lectures, then I would incorporate that feedback and change that structure for the following year to improve it for student outcomes. There has been times where I have received not such great CCAT results, and there's been times where I've taught courses and not received CCAT results because the response rate has been so low. The turnaround to getting better CCATs, I think, has possibly just been because I'm more open with my students about what the purpose of the CCATs is. I possibly do beg them a little bit more now to complete them, but I think I've just become more attuned to what the students are doing. I give them a lot more lead-in time, and I do give them, if possible, some time in class to complete it as well, to make it a little bit easier, although I don't force them to complete it if they don't want to complete it, but giving them a bit of time in class has helped as well.